Hello students, today we're going to learn how to solve exponential equations. Okay, so when you're solving exponential equations, you essentially are going to have two different types of equations. You're going to have the one where the exponent is the variable, and then you're going to have the other kind where the variable is actually the base. Now this second kind right here, we've already really gone over how to solve those, and it's by raising it to the reciprocal power on both sides. Okay, so we'll be working with this one in just one moment. Let's now go back up to this one. Okay, so when you have an exponent that is your power, then there's actually two different ways that you can solve this. The easiest way, in my opinion, is to convert it to a logarithm. So when we convert it to a logarithm, again, remember, you're going to start with your base, which is 5. So it's going to be log base 5 of 18, and that equals x. Okay? Now, you have a way of typing this in to your calculator. If you're using the TI-84 Plus, you can type this log base 5 of 18 into your calculator, and you'll be able to get your answer. What you would want to do that is you have to hit alpha window. So I'm going to write that here. These are the steps that you would use to use your calculator when you come to class, or if you have one, then you can practice this right now. You would hit alpha window. And then number 5 says log base. That is what you would want. So when you hit 5, it's going to put it on your calculator, and it's going to have a blank for this and a blank for this, so that you can just input those numbers right there. Okay, so after I have typed that in on my calculator, you'll see that log base 5 of 18, it is equal to 1.795888947. So we're going to round it to the nearest hundredths, so we're going to say it's approximately 1.79. Okay? And then what you can do to check your answer is you could plug that back in for x to see if it's approximately 18 that way. Okay? Alright, so let's move on to the next one. So for this next one, on this next one I'm going to show you the other way that you can do this. Okay? The other way that you can solve it. So what you can do on this one is anytime you have exponential, remember the inverse operation for exponential is logarithm. So I'm going to show you the other way. The other way would be to bring in log on both sides. So we're going to bring in the common log. We're going to take the common log of both sides of the equation. So we're going to have common log of 13 to the 3x minus 1 power. And that equals, we're going to bring in the common log on this side as well, common log of 91. And then what you would do is you would expand it. So this power is going to come to the front. So you would have 3x minus 1 times log of 13. Because remember, that just stays there. And that equals log of 91. Okay. Now here's where it might get a little complicated for you. We want to get this x by itself, right? So what you would want to do is you'd want to divide by log of 13, but when you do that, you do it on both sides. So you're going to divide this side by log of 13 as well. Well, this you can type in on your calculator because that's just the common log. So common log, you can use the button on your calculator that just says log. So I'm going to type in log of 91 divided by log of 13, and that comes out to be approximately 1.7587. We'll just leave it at that right now. Okay, so on this side, this canceled, so we just have 3x minus 1. And then now it's just a simple algebra problem. You would add 1 to both sides, which would give you 3x equals 2.7587. And then you would divide both sides by 3. And so x equals, let me do that on my calculator real quick. It would come out to be 0.9196, and we'll go ahead and round that to 0.92. Okay, and that would be your answer. So you can see that doing it this way, and this was very helpful, doing it this way right here, that was very helpful before we had calculators that would allow us to type this in on our calculator. Okay, you can see that this way is a little bit longer. I actually prefer just converting it to log and then doing it that way. Okay? Okay, so let's do this next one by converting it to logarithm. Again, how you're going to know when you need to do that is if your x is in the exponent, because the only way I can get up to that exponent is to convert it to log. So we're going to write down the word log. Your base is 2, and then you're going to say log base 2 of the 20, and that equals that whole exponent of x plus 4. Okay, so then we can type this in on our calculator. So log base 2 of 20, let me go ahead and do that really quick. That comes out to be about 4.32, and that's equal to x plus 4. So when I subtract 4 from both sides, my x value comes out to be approximately 0.32. Okay? Okay, moving on to number 4. I want you to go ahead and try and do that yourself, and let's see what you get for your answer. Just go ahead and press play when you're ready to check it. Okay, so you should have gotten x to be equal to -8. Again, you just convert it to logarithm, so you would take the log base 1/2 of 16 squared. Now I went ahead and multiplied out what 16 squared was, and I wrote down 256. And then it's equal to x, okay? And then just remember to hit the buttons alpha, window, and then number 5 to be able to type this in on your calculator. So again, if you don't have a calculator at home, that's fine. Just make sure that you check it when you get to class. Okay, this next part should be review for you. This time we're going to be solving for the variable that is the base. So we have x to the 6th equals 96. So anytime x is the base, then you want to raise both sides to the reciprocal power, because that's how you get rid of the exponent, okay? So if we have x to the 6th, you would want to raise both sides to the reciprocal of 6, which is 1/6. And so we would raise 96 to the 1/6 power as well. Now remember, this is a power. You're not doing 96 times 1/6. You're doing 96 raised up to the 1/2 power. Okay? So make sure you're typing it in correctly on your calculator. So when I type that in on my calculator, I get, I'm sorry, I wrote down 1/2. I meant to write down 1/6. Let me change that really quick. Okay, so 96 to the 1/6 power would be okay, it would come out to be about 2.14. Okay, let's go on to the next problem. Okay, problem number 2. We have x to the negative 2 power equals 20. So again, our base is the variable, so we want to raise both sides to the reciprocal power. The reciprocal of negative 2 would be a negative 1/2. So I'm going to do the same thing over here and raise it to the negative 1/2 power. This cancels, so I have x equals, and then I would just type it in on my calculator, and you would get, hang on, let me do that really quick. You would get approximately 0.22. Okay, it's not a negative sign, that's part of my equal sign. So x would be equal to 0.22. Okay, for these next two problems, number 3 and number 4, I want you to go ahead and get those set up yourself. If you don't have a calculator that can do these exponents, then at least just get it set up on your paper to where all you have to do is just type it in on your calculator. Okay, and we'll see you in class tomorrow, and we'll work on this some more tomorrow in class.